This year, I wanted my Christmas decor to tell a story that starts right here in the entryway. Because the moment someone steps inside, that's the beginning of their Christmas experience in our home. And I'm adding some unexpected elements to this year's story: wreaths in surprising places, ornaments with a twist. It's all about creating a Christmas that's both magical and uniquely us. I've decided to add this chiffon ribbon to the sconces throughout the downstairs to kind of unify the different rooms. From here, I'm going to move on to the advent calendar. And we don't have children in the home, so we're going to treat ourselves like kids. We split the days and we're going to fill every other stocking. And so then we have something to open on alternative days. Now, to break up the kind of monotony of all of the cream stockings, I have little elements of an old garland that I cut up last year to add some greenery to the advent calendar. This is the table that is right next to the front door, and I'm going to put these brass deer in this location, and that really plays off the brass in the lamp there. I framed this print of a quote from the Nutcracker by E.T.A. Hoffman, which I'll read. Among the dark leaves, the golden and silvery fruit shone and sparkled, while the trunks and branches were ornamented with ribbons and flowers. And when the sweet perfume stirred and moved like a soft breeze, it rustled among the boughs and leaves like music. We are in the Christmas wood, said Nutcracker. For the bench area, I took some pillows that I had been using throughout the year, some up in the rotunda, some in the living room. The artwork hung just here has a lot of blues in it, so I was able to use those blue colors. Stick around to the end and you'll see more of what I'm talking about with the colors in these pillows. These are the ornaments that I saved from when I was decorating the tree, and Charlie wanted to help, but I told her to not help. She has other plans. Good thing the video was recording because I caught her doing this while my back was turned. Mm-hmm. Charlie was a big help. I wanted to use these ornaments as a draw to keep the eye moving up the staircase from the living room. And if you'll see what I'm going to do on the bench where I'm standing, but without something in the windows, I kind of feel like it just there's two sections of the staircase here and they're not connected if I don't have a little something here in the window. So the way I got them to be pretty evenly spaced without getting neurotic with a ruler and stuff was I started in the middle and then I started on the edges and then I kept bisecting each section in half. And that kept things moving and it kept me not going crazy with measurements and it all worked out. Before starting filming, I had attached fishing line in random lengths to each of these ornaments and was able to hang them up that way. Now I'm moving on to the garland. This is going to be the same type of garland that I use on the staircase that I used last year, actually, and it's going to provide the base for a bunch of nutcrackers. Charlie's been very interested in decorating today with me, and she is just everywhere. All right, so we have two big bins of nutcrackers. This is a collection that Tracy's been working on for years and years and years. So it's slowly grown over time. And honestly, that's going to be my biggest piece of advice if you're just starting out in your Christmas decorating life. Try not to get caught up and feel bad about seeing all these things on Instagram and Pinterest and YouTube. Most of us who've been doing this for a long time have been collecting these things for years, decades even. And if you're just starting out, then you're just starting out, and that's okay. That's an okay place to be, and your home can still be beautiful and warm and festive for the holidays. If you have a limited amount of resources, I would recommend going with something that's going to have a big impact, which is going to be garland and greenery, because that can cover a lot of surface area in short time. And there are some great sales going on right now. I love greenery, especially because all the green is gone outside. And so it keeps it feeling warm and cozy on the inside. I also love lights, different lighting options, whether that's fairy lights or candles, flameless candles, real candles, whatever. Oftentimes you're able to use those in different seasons. And so purchasing things that have applicability across different seasons is also super helpful when you're just starting out. I know that probably a lot of people who are watching this video have also been collecting Christmas decor for a long time. So if you guys have any tips for new Christmas decorators, please drop them in the comments. I was pretty nervous about this plan of putting the nutcrackers here with the cats, knowing that they love sitting up here. But I have to say, they've really not bothered them at all. They're not chewing on them. They're not doing anything. They do like to bat around those ornaments, so I've had to rehang several of them, but they're being actually pretty good this year. So keep it up, Charlie. If there is a single Christmas decorating thing that I don't like doing, it's hanging garland on staircases, because basically you're trying to go against gravity. I mean, you do that a lot when you're decorating, especially when you're trying to make something magical, but I tried to do this by myself, and you're going against gravity, which always is going to win. And yeah, I frequently take steps back from whatever I'm working on to get a broader view, and I didn't like the way this garland was positioned over the newel post, so I swung it down, and Charlie was super happy that I did that because she and the other cats like to stand on this, and then they'll leapfrog from this one to the one that's on the landing, which is super fun. And you know what? It's really their world, and I'm just living in it. So, yeah. I wanted to take this opportunity to give you a huge, big thank you for being here and spending your time with me. I know that I always say this time is very precious and not renewable in any way. And it seems like even more so now during as we ramp up towards the holidays, it's becoming more and more valuable. But anyway, if you haven't subscribed yet, please consider doing so. And also, watching my videos to the end and binge watching is another great way to help me. So, thank you all for being here, and I appreciate you so much. All right, speaking of gravity, this was my big idea, was to suspend the wreaths or several wreaths from the banister. And I told myself I was going to give myself 2 attempts to do this. And here's my one attempt that failed. And I was going to try one more time, and I really got into it. And yeah, well, you'll see what happens. So I had to wait another day, and Tracy provided the assistance that I very desperately needed to complete this part of the project. These wreaths are from Grandin Road, and they match the garland, which is from Balsam Hill, but it all works out great. And every time I hang them with this 20-pound fishing line, I'm always worried that it's going to break. It does stretch a little bit, but it doesn't break. To get the spacing right on the longer part of the banister, we had 3 wreaths to hang, so I found the midsection and then I just bisected the remaining segments so that I didn't have to do crazy measuring and stuff. So eyeballing it roughly is good enough, but again, I'm taking steps back frequently to make sure that they're about all the same height and everything as I hang them sequentially. Now that the wreaths are hung and structurally sound, I'm going to be able to add the finishing touch, which is this wide velvet ribbon. There are 2 colors on this one. There's a bright red and then this more muted, kind of darker red. And that's the color that I'm going to be choosing to use for this, because A brighter red would be more energetic and attract more attention, and I wanted the ribbon to evoke that sense of calm and cozy and also blend in with the rest of the decor and the berries on the wreaths and garlands themselves. I hope this video has provided you some entertainment and maybe some ideas on how you can use same old Christmas stuff in new ways. When it's ready, I will put my next Christmas decorating video here, and YouTube thinks you should watch this one next.